And so a little bit about the initiative. I don't want to go too far off track here. My goal is I would like to reach all the Samoan nurses out here in the mainland. And I know it sounds like a big ask, but the collective experience, the collective education, the level of which we're trained out here and the resources we have here is different from what's normally offered back home. I know a lot of us have heard the stories about LBJ, a lot of unfair opinions, I believe. But the fact remains that though the reputation of the hospital may not be the best, the nurses are doing the best they can with the resources that they have. And so the idea is by connecting all of us here in the mainland, we can share the resources we've received with them, whether that be training, whether that be mentorship, educating them on sort of practices that are done out here that may not have yet transitioned to LBJ, but to American Samoa. It's a lot of just trying to empower them, I would say, is the biggest thing. It's easy for people to make the assumption that, oh, the nurses back home don't know what they're doing. The nurses back home, this is why this hospital is so bad. But the reality is those are some amazing nurses. They just don't have the resources to operate at the peak that they can. And when I went back home, I went back in August, back to Samoa, and I had conversations with some of the nurses there, and I was just in awe because some of the things that they've had to deal with working in the hospital here in the States, they would be like, no, we're shutting this place down, And so it's giving credit where credit is due, that these are not terrible nurses. They are not nurses who don't know what they're doing. They're nurses who have had to make the best out of what they've been given. And if we empower them, if we support them, if they know that there's somebody with the same cultural background as them who can accomplish all these things, that they can too. That's kind of where it is, because if you invest in your nurses, that's going to help your hospital, because nurses are the ones running everything in the hospital. That's essentially what I'm hoping to achieve by investing in those nurses, by supporting them and empowering them. Ultimately, it's going to improve the care that patients in American Samoa receive.